we're going to start Beyond the Rift, episode number 7 on the new season, starring the one and only I'm a Cutie Pie, the world's best Orin. I think, Scar, you agree with that? What other Orns have you seen that could contest me for that title?
I'm pretty sure Vincent's better than you, and he plays the support.
Okay, that's not true, but... Okay, self-proclaimed best Orin in the
I'll
world.
give you that one.
Scar, give him a quick intro. Who are you?
What's up, guys? I'm Scar. I'm actually the best Orin in North America. I have better stats than Cutie. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Wait, do you really? What are your stats?
I have no idea. I think I have like a
fuck
60.
off, then.
That's close enough, dude.
Nice try. Melixia, what do you want to be called in this session? What would you prefer?
What do you want to call me, Michael?
I mean, it's up to you. You want to be called by your first name? What is most appealing to you?
Melixia is great. Let's do Melixia.
All right, Melixia joining us
OGs,
today.
Man.
Yeah, we're back at it again. He used to be our life coach back on Dignitas.
Oh,
those are the.
We could tell the story with the first question because it just goes right into this.
Okay, well, Melixia, give him a quick intro though. You were a life coach. What is your life led to now?
I am now. Yeah, my cam's weird. I guess
yeah, it's option, dude. People don't come on this show for high quality production. It don't fucking matter.
Well, then you have the right guest then. Yeah. I guess I'm Devin. I'm the CEO of Counterlogic Gaming. I'm here because Scara and Cutie Pie ran out of good guests to have. So happy to be here.
Devin the dude, baby,
dude,
here today.
On,
dude, before we get into the topics though, quick shout out, Discord, live question and answer on the Beyond the Rift Discord server at the end of the show. The link's down below. Get on that server, ask questions. I'm a Cutie Pie Scara and Devin the dude have got the answers for you guys. So definitely join us because it's gonna be great questions. But we're going to the topics right now. We're gonna dive straight into it.
This is so official. Like, did you guys? What was the thinking behind? I'm sorry, I'm asking you questions. What was the thinking behind this? Like, why did you guys do this podcast thing?
I think it's just Scar wanted to. I don't know. I don't really do it. I'm gonna come clean here. I know everyone thinks I'm the brains behind. I actually don't do anything.
Oh, that's an insane. I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah, I know. Some people are like, Cutie must spend every waking moment coming up with these slides, getting the guests, getting everything. I don't do anything. They give me the slides, I put it on the fucking OBS thing, and then I fucking...
Dude, you're ruining the mystery of the show, man. You can't give away...
I don't want to give away too many secrets, though. Those are trade
secrets. He
secrets.
does everything, and he looks good. He's on our on-camera talent.
I do it all, baby. Scar is the one that's actually not doing anything.
The last time I talked to you, Michael, was like at least 2 or 3 years ago. You look exactly the same. You sound exactly the same.
Hey, that's what I aim for, dude.
You have like the one ring, dude. You have like the one ring or something, man. Like you're just like literally the exact same. It's awesome.
Yeah, I gotta make sure, dude. People come to me expecting something. I gotta make sure that their expectations are met at every point. So, yeah, I got you all covered.
My expectations have already been fulfilled.
Then perfect.
If we stop this podcast right now.
Dude, we can't stop yet because we're going straight into topic number 1. So let us begin. Devin Nash. How did you go from motivational Twitch streamer to CEO?
Dancing.
Dancing was the answer?
Dancing is always the answer, dude. I think it actually did a lot, but now, let's see. So how did that actually happen? There was a writer for Team Dignitas who was dating Alberto, right, at the time. And she found my stream. She told Crumbs about it. And then Crumbs came and checked out the broadcast, which was like a broadcast about positivity. So we did a lot of hype stuff. Can I curse on this podcast?
Yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Immediately the first question I have to ask. So we hyped up a bunch of shit. I would dance around. We would do a bunch of high energy stuff. It was about positivity. It was about gaming. And we got everybody kind of excited about being in League of Legends, learning about it. And so that kind of picked up some traction with Riot. I played with like Freak. I played with like all those guys. And then Alberto noticed it and was like, hey, you should come to Dignitas because our whole team is like incredibly unmotivated. And so we need you to fix it. That was like back in like the Cruise of the Bruiser days. Michael, you were there. Skara, you were a starter at the time, right?
No,
Yeah.
I think yes. At the very
definitely
beginning,
a starter.
And I moved over to being a coach like while you're still in the process.
Yeah. So I got in there. We did some life coaching, but I'd run a couple of businesses, so it was a little bit below my pay grade, I guess. So Odie moved me up to like co-running North America for Dignitas. So I was doing like all the managerial stuff, and that was like back when they asked that you had to have the coaches on stage, but I didn't know anything about League like functionally. So like I had to stand there because we didn't have another guy. And so that was like when we would do like the funny dances, or I'd hold up signs that was like Riot is holding me hostage, like please rescue me, stuff like that. And so like through that process, like I got into Team Dignitas and then met George through the LCS. George really wanted some help running the business operations side of stuff because he that wasn't his core competency. Like he's much more of like an idea vision dude, which he does quite well. And I decided to do it after coming to the CLG campus and really falling in love with the culture here. And that led me to come on as CEO.
Well,
Here
let me ask you this: Do you think the path that you took, someone else could take that kind of path? Motivational Twitch streamer to CEO. You think having a positive attitude and being a Twitch streamer can get you to that level?
It's a reach. I got really lucky, right? But I do think that people underestimate how much they can grow if they just apply themselves. I mean, a lot of the skills that I developed were experiential by running businesses, like my past in running businesses and my past in reading. I read over 700 personal development books. Like I built myself up. I was a guy that played video games 16 hours a day. But like you, I turned it into something that was useful and like a passion, and made it into something that works. I think a lot of people underestimate what they can do, and I think anybody can be anything they want to be if they apply themselves and actually take the time to do it.
Dude, that's some good shit. Do you think having a good how important do you think a good attitude is? Because I try to tell these motherfuckers every day, like, your attitude will carry you not only in League of Legends, but like in every fucking facet of life. Anywhere, dude, for anything. Like, you think that shit's the most important thing for just gaming, CEOing, Twitch streaming, all that bullshit?
Yeah, dude. I think good luck getting most of Twitch to own up to that. But would you say that's the theme of your
Hell no.
Twitch stream, Michael? Are you a motivational speaker as well?
No. I don't think I motivate anyone in my chat to do anything. But I try my best, so they can't blame me for if they're not motivated. Scar,
they can't blame you.
Scar, what do you got to ask my boy Devin?
I guess like one of the only questions I'd have to ask is like what's more about your past? You said you managed a lot of different companies, like, and you moved on to CLG. Like, what experiences in those companies like helped you become the CEO that you are today?
Running and selling a marketing company helped a lot. I think marketing is like the basis of buying and selling products and services, right? Like if you're gonna know anything about the psychology of why people buy shit, then you got to know about marketing. So I was lucky enough to get involved with a couple dudes, Jay Abram and Dan Kennedy, were some of my old mentors in like direct advertising marketing, where you used to like make these websites before Google would like kill you for this stuff because they want actual content and not just people pushing products. You could have these like one-page websites where you would like try to solve a problem for someone. You sell like an ebook. You ever see those League of Legends ebooks that people sell?
Yeah, they're fucking legit.
I always wonder if those actually sell.
Yeah, I wonder if a lot of things actually sell in the world of League of Legends. I imagine those things sell pretty well, though. I mean, I figure people use that shit. I don't fucking know, though.
I don't know either, man. Like, I used to do a bunch of that kind of stuff, except for medical stuff. So my first company was based on selling ebook products like knee pain, bronchitis, how to fix those problems. And I would pay doctors like $500 to actually like write a page in it, and they would put on a code. I'd take a picture and I'd put it on the website so it looked all official and stuff. So I sold a bunch of that stuff, and that taught me a lot about marketing. And then I sold that company. I ran an IT services company and that after that, and that helped a lot. And did a lot of advisory stuff for like peak performance in larger companies. So some of the bigger companies that had 500 plus employees, I would act as an advisor to like how to get their executives to be the highest level they could be. And so all that stuff kind of culminated in the qualities that I have to be a CEO. But I still don't know what the hell I'm doing, to be honest. I don't know how I even ended up here. A lot of it is luck, honestly.
Well, let me close out by asking you this final question. Do you think me or Scar have what it takes to be a CEO?
CEO of what?
Of anything.
You're only the CEO of your stream.
I want to be the CEO of CLG. I want to take your job. Do you think I have what it takes? Wait, I can have it just like that? Come on, man. Yep. You got it.
That's it.
What about Scar, though? You think Scar could take it?
Both of you have been really successful in what you've done. Scar is Scar is thinking I see his webcam. He's like, how is Moxie going to dodge this answer right now? I think both of you have been really successful. Michael, by any terms, you're a much more successful person than me already. I think you're already kind of CEO of your own like vast empire. I'm so
I don't know about vast empire. I got a bunch of fucking I got a bunch of goons that fucking watch me. I think vast empire might be pushing it a little bit. Thank you,
dude. There's 30,000 people watching you eat a sandwich. You could change the earth there, man. You could like tell people to vote or something. I don't know. You could do it.
I don't know. I don't know if I have the power to make people do anything they don't want to do, man. I think you give me far too much credit, but hey, as long as you tell me I have the power to be CEO of CLG, man, I'll take that. So, thank you for that.
It's a tough job for sure. Someone's got to do it. I kind of like constantly reinvent myself and try to think if I'm the right person for it. I still don't know the answer to that question, but yeah, trying every day to build the best organization we can.
All right, let's go to the next question then. Question number 2.
This is so official.
Yeah, you already know. The world's top 20 players have only 2 players from North America, Bjergsen at 10 and Doublelift at 20. Does NA deserve more spots? Scar, I don't know any of the fucking international teams, so I'll let you take over this one.
Whoa. I just want to know what you think, dude. You don't have to know the other players. You just got to think to yourself, look inside you. Do you think NA talent is better than just those 2 people? We're sending 3 teams to
Yeah,
Worlds,
I feel like they could have. You could have maybe put Po Belter. I feel like Po Belter could have been like 20, right?
Aren't we technically sending 2 in a wild card? Like it's not even 3, right?
Nah, I think it's
we're sending
IMT.
3. It's just one of them's in the
in like a weird qualifier,
in
right?
In the playing groups. They'll play tonight at 11:30, man. I got the C9 logo ready for them.
Oh,
you got that, and you've got the C9 tag on your character. I saw.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I'm all ready to support North America tonight.
Well, then let me ask you, Scar. You think North America deserves 2 players or more?
No, I thought that. I was surprised we got 2. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, Bjergsen should be in there. 100% best player in the region, multiple years running. Guy's a monster. Always improves every season. MVP, like just disgustingly good player. After him, I feel like a lot of the other players are just really good role players. But in terms of like super world class superstars, man, I'm comfortable with him. And then like after him, I don't even know. Like if you saw like the list that Riot put out, Doublelift was on like 2 of the 3, or like 1 of the 3 top 20 lists. It's just like he averaged into like 20.1, which is higher than like Reckless and like the other person. So I'm surprised we got more than 1. Damn. I think people should be happy we got 2.
Well, let me ask you that if there were players from the past of NA, do you think that we'd have more people on that list? So let's say in a hypothetical world, I'm a Cutie Pie was still in the LCS.
How many people are sent to Worlds? Just throwing it out there.
Total?
The play-in stage? Yeah, we got like 200 people, right?
Yeah,
like 100 people. I put you top 100.
You put me top 100. You wouldn't put me top 20?
I put you top 100. Maybe top 50.
Wow.
Devin, where would you put me?
I think you're pretty good. Yeah, about the same. Top 100.
Alright, fuck you both.
Sure.
We'll go on to the next topic. Fuck you both.
Whatever makes you feel better, dude.
Nick Allen, ex-Riot/Twitch employee, was recently added as the VP for MSG Esports. When looking for fine candidates to hire, how much does industry experience matter?
That was a great reading of that question.
Thank you.
Top notch, 9 out of 10. Yeah. Nick Allen. Yeah. Okay. So Nick's coming onto the executive team to. I think his experience in the industry matters a lot, right? He basically helped build the LCS and then did a bunch of esports stuff at Twitch that I assume was good. I'm actually not too sure. But in doing this hire, like we looked at a lot of candidates. We were looking for an executive that really kicks a lot of ass, and we think Nick Allen is that guy. So I'm really excited for him to be here. Industry experience matters a lot, right? Like for something like this, where a large part of what he does is gonna be like direct the vision of the PEA, like the whole association of teams. A lot of the stuff that we're doing at the Guardian, ticketing, events, a lot of like high level stuff. So having a person that knows how to do that and build those things, I think Nick Allen is like unequivocally the best person for the job. We couldn't have found a better candidate. There's no way.
Okay, Scar, what do you think about Nick Allen? What do you think about the experience you've had with Nick Allen?
It's just weird, because it's like, dude, I was the person that they fined originally. So
wait, is that right? Wait, it is right. Yeah, on CLG, right?
Years ago, when
you know how many times you've been fined by Nick Allen? Like seriously, it's like it's a lot of times.
4.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5.
I was the biggest fine because they wanted to make a statement with the fine for me.
Who did you steal? I'm trying to remember. Was it
steal? Whoa! I'm just saying there are
allegedly
allegations of poaching for me and Darshan, and then Riot was just like he did it, and I was just like, I'm innocent, and it is held the gun to my face and pulled the trigger. I'm just saying, or Nick Allen pulled the trigger, and all of a sudden he's working at CLG. It's just interesting. That's all I gotta say.
So you're not a big fan of Nick Allen?
No, dude, I love Nick Allen. He's actually so cool to hang out with. Like, I don't know if you've ever personally had dinner with him or hung out with him at an event, but he's such a nice, personable guy.
Exactly.
He's like the guy who you're just like, you're gonna be best. You want to be like buds with, and he just does good work because he used to run IPL way back when. He was one of the heads of IPL and ran that all the way to the point where he joined Riot, then he joined Twitch after, and I guess now he's at CLG somehow. They just ended up poaching him.
So when you were working with Nick, did you get to interact with him quite a bit? Or besides getting fined or like?
Oh, I mean, no.
You just know him from the industry, right? Like,
I just know him from the industry and I talked to him at Riot, but I didn't really interact with him after he fined me. It wasn't like, hey man, you remember that week you fined me? That was some good stuff, dude. Next week, let's do it again. It was more like, hey, what's up, Nick? Nice to see you again. Don't touch me, please. Don't find me again.
Yeah, that was the same thing for us for a while. But once he got to Twitch, he's such a personable guy. And he's just a dude that you really want to hang out with. He's just so friendly. I don't know. I think it's a really good pickup. I'm really glad that we did get him. We need some heavy hitters within CLG. We're also hiring a ton of people. We're hiring director for just account management for sponsorships, business solutions, sales, social media, going pretty ham. And we're also moving into a facility near the Santa Monica area soonish.
I thought you guys already lived in a compound, don't you? Or some
dude,
shit?
But we live in BFE, man. We live in this place called Arcadia, which is if I want to go to Scar's house, it would take me 2 hours to get there in moderate traffic. It's just savage. So we have to move closer to the studio and everything that's happening there.
Oh, are you guys doing a Team Liquid style complex where you have a full facility and people will be living off site kind of stuff?
Yeah, exactly. We want to build it from the ground up. We want to put in offices. We're looking for that space right now. So we're down to 4 or 5 good spaces that are really near the studio and getting pretty close to a decision.
Holy shit. That's a whole lot of stuff you guys are up to. Damn. I can
Esports, man.
Yeah, I can see why you guys are needing so many people now. Yeah, I mean, my only interaction with Nick Allen is, from IPL. Sky, you remember, I forget, we won an IPL tournament or some shit. And
IPL 3, baby, that's all. There were 7 people in the crowd when we won,
No.
and I was playing off.
Yeah, do you remember?
Seven
we went.
people?
Yeah, we went to the IPL studios or some shit, and they let us write our name on the wall too to like commemorate it. Do you remember this shit?
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, it was like the shittiest looking like commemoration. Like everyone scribbled their names on the wall, and like people drew pictures. It looked fucking awful. And then I wrote my name on there. I felt like that's when I felt like I made it. I was like, damn, dude, I just wrote my name on this fucking wall. No one's gonna give a shit about. No one's even gonna look at it after today. This feels fucking amazing, dude. That's my experience with Nick Allen, man. So, Nick, you get a thumbs up for me, too. You're an alright guy. But we'll go to the next topic. So, what responsibilities do you have as the CEO of a top League of Legends organization?
Ooh, top League of Legends organization. I love it.
Oh, I was going to say top 3, but you guys didn't make it to Worlds, so I'd come back a little bit.
Hey, too soon, man. Why you gotta throw shade like that?
Wait. Look, random aside, is it really like kind of depressing that this is the first year like you're having these emotes last for the entire forever, like they don't disappear.
Yeah,
Those emotes don't
like,
disappear.
No. So like if you buy an emote, like I just got like all the NA emotes. I got the HKA emote because I like dragons with shades on, and they don't disappear. They're there forever. And so this is the first year that they don't disappear in, and this is one of the first years that CLG didn't make it to Worlds. Is that kind of...
Wait, that's bullshit. They should just do it for fucking everyone. But that's another topic. But that's bullshit.
It's gonna be. I mean, with franchising though, it's like not gonna matter because I'm sure like all of those images, like Riot will change their view on that completely when like they know the teams that are in the LCS for the long term, because then they can actually like do co-advertising and co-branding, right?
Yeah, but dude, that's like half of the thing is like, Sky, Lemon Dogs? If they made that shit into an emo, I would be all for it. That team was fucking garbage. They got eliminated instantly. They got relegated. But you give me an icon like that, dude, I'll be real hyped up. But that's another story. So
I feel you, man. I'm running the HK Hong Kong attitude. It's literally a small dragon with his arms crossed with shades on.
That's a good choice.
I think it looks sick, so I just like
cool.
using it.
But yeah, anyway, back to the responsibilities for CEO. What is it?
So the CEO in mind, there's a lot of ways to answer this question. I think a CEO is the person that focuses on the number one problem that a company has at any given time. So in doing so, you're tying in a lot of departments to try to solve those problems. So for example, like some of the biggest things that CLG has to worry about, well, like how are we going to handle Riot franchising? And like how are we addressing that issue? What are we doing about housing and facilities? How are we maintaining the competitive integrity of our teams, right? Those are all things that I'm looking at, and simultaneously looking at things like sponsorships. Like now that we have Madison Square Garden and that partnership is done, how do we get in front of a lot of non-endemic sponsors that may connect us with better opportunities? And now we get like talking to airline companies or National Guard or just like crazy companies like that. Like how does that add up? And then based on the resources that I have, if you can imagine like a chessboard, how do we move around the pieces in such a way in sponsorships, legal, social, community to make these things happen optimally and to get the right people connected to do those things? And so that is an 24/7 process to try to get those people connected to the right opportunities, and simultaneously to be a mentor and a leader for people that need advice and the next steps in those things. So operationally, day to day, I have 5 direct reports who handle different sections of the company. So one handles social, for example, another handles community, another handles operations and logistics, another handles esports, right, and like the direction and competitive integrity of the teams. I oversee all those people and make sure the direction of that makes sense. Is like the super technical answer.
All right, fair enough. Well, according to chat and Reddit, I want to ask you, how many people do you have over the biggest problem with CLG? Huhi. Just I want to ask this for the people of Reddit, for the people of Twitch chat, because the analysis that they give is pretty good. So I want to hear it from maybe you.
Did you just say that the analysis that Twitch chat gives is pretty good? Have we lost you in all your streams?
I mean, Scar, what do you think of that kind of stuff? You don't agree with it? You don't think that they need their own team for Huhi?
Isn't the J meme over? Haven't we beat that meme? Like, or are we still doing that?
Dude, they do whatever. You never get.
I don't
over
understand
them,
why people just don't know to ban Aurelion Sol.
There we go, dude.
You remember on Team Dignitas, Azingi?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is.
I wasn't
time,
on
right?
with Azingi, but yeah, I remember watching Azingi.
Azingi played 2 champions. It was
Zach and some shit.
and Karthus.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I
So
remember.
I think we had a season where Dignitas went 7-1 because they didn't ban Zach, and then we went 1-7 when they figured it out. that was the only qualifier.
Wait, when you guys had Azingi, you went 7-1 the first season. What the fuck?
I'm pretty sure, right? Like, didn't we have?
I don't remember.
We had a really good season. It was something like that. It might have even been more than that.
I don't know if it was 7-1, but I think most of the Dig seasons way back when we started, like I remember the season when we went 7-1. I don't think that was the one with Azingi. That was the one before that. But like the after,
the
one after, the after one, I think they also started like really well. First week or two,
we won like 5 games in a row.
Yeah,
sure.
and it just fell off the deep end, kind of.
Yeah. I feel like the Huhi meme is so overblown. Like, he's absolutely one of our best players. He's an awesome dude too. And like, I'd say like, if you look at his growth as a pro from like the beginning of his career here to like where he's at now, I mean, he's just done amazing. Like, he's one of the people I'm most proud of on the team.
Dude, that's why this guy's the CEO, man. Those kinds of words, that's the strong kind of team building shit I like to hear, man. Good shit on that one.
I love that dude. I mean, he came up from CLG Black, right? Like, he came up from the academy team, so like I saw his drive there and his like motivation and attitude to get better. Like, watching VODs every day, solo queuing, like even like helping the main starter team at the time and like helping them with like plays, and like he was when everyone else was like sleeping or doing something else, he was like on his computer working. And so like to see him as a starter for us now is like one of the most exciting things for me, because like I really value that kind of hard work and that attitude. And he's done it maybe better than almost anyone.
Even better than me or Skara?
Are you going pro again? I keep hearing rumors of like, you guys had that meme team for a while, right?
You keep hearing rumors, dude.
That wasn't a meme team though. Don't sully the name of Delta Fox by calling it a meme team, dude. That was a legit team. That was Delta Fox.
We got a legit team with a legit like little fox. I think I have it.
Wait, they gave me that?
Remind me how they ended up doing?
I just want to say I have.
I see. That's quite nice.
We're like 1-3. We had 3 and.
Yeah, you got to include the
3
win.
and 18, I think.
Yeah, that's not the worst.
Our
we didn't do. All right, we didn't do the worst that any challenger team has ever done.
Didn't do the worst.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Team Games has done worse than us.
How many people were in the competition total?
There's 6 teams, so 30 people.
30.
Okay, so you were at least top 6, top 30. That's good.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah. Hey, we'll take it, man. See, that was pretty much all we need. I'd say that was like. That should have shown everyone the drive and motivation that we still got. that pretty much that was a done deal after that.
Why do you feel like that team actually like didn't do better?
Like,
do you feel like you just didn't scrim? Or
I couldn't possibly fathom a reason why that team couldn't have done well. Maybe it was because, I mean, this is going to go out on a limb, but I'm going to guess that none of us scrimmed together. And then none of us actually practiced any of this shit. Like, I don't know if, Sky, you were practicing and Darius were, but I was definitely not. I mean, I
was definitely not.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, that team, it was bound
Sounds
for
like
success.
You need a life coach, man.
Yeah, maybe I do need a life coach. I don't know.
Scar,
why do you think that team failed?
I'm just going to say it was due to scheduling issues. Because the only way we could scrim after Riot kind of chopped out our scrims in-house that we tried to do, the only way we could do it was on the weekends. And I had a Greatest League talk show every weekend. So
Wait, Riot did what?
They they kind of didn't want us to scrim the main team, even with like random rosters thrown in. Like they told us that they didn't want to do it. They didn't want us to like stream it. So
Riot told you?
Yeah, we kind of like did it.
We weren't.
Yeah, no, it was kind of weird. So when that got cut off, and that was like the original idea of how we were gonna get like any kind of practice. Weekends were the only other days that people were like available to scrim, and I had Greatest League Talk Show every weekend. So like, there was just no way for us to get scrim time because everyone started to stream it at different times.
Well, you guys were. I mean, that's what I was about to say. Is like everybody on the team was basically broadcasters.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I prefer the term content creator.
I don't.
Why?
That term's fucking awful.
I actually don't like that term.
I hate that
Content
term.
creator.
Yeah, I'd say ultimately though that team failed because of Riot. It's like Skyrim said, fuck Riot.
What?
Oh shit!
Whoa!
I'm just gonna throw that one out there. We're just throwing that one out there, and we're moving on to the next topic. So even Dapper agrees. So next question: what CLG player of all time is your favorite, and why? I'll start off. I like Afra, dude. Afra's got a good attitude. He's a funny guy. I mean, I've seen him from the start to where he is now, and I mean, he's always been good, but that's pretty good.
Wow, that's quite a dog you got there.
Yeah, it's a nice dog. Let me go get that.
It's extremely loud dog. What kind of dog is that?
We got him from the pound, the shelter. So we don't know what he is. He's like a lab, some shit.
Are you still with the same girl?
Yeah. Lisa?
Wow. How many years has that been?
It's been like probably 6, 7. I don't know. It's too fucking long.
Cutie with the longest relationship in esports, ladies and gentlemen.
It's been too
goddamn
long.
That's a long time, man. There's not many relationships that survive that long.
Yeah. Get on that.
But she's been good to you.
Yeah.
Wait. We went from Aframu to Alicia real quick. Just like that, man.
Hey, she's a pretty good player, too, so.
Afro's awesome. I mean, it's so hard to like answer that question, right? Like, because I think of my favorite CLG players in terms of like the attitude that I would want to see on
dude.
You know what I mean?
No one from your team is gonna watch this show. Trust me, you can just throw it out there, and they won't know. Just
this guy's trying to politic his way out of the question.
Yeah.
Dude, what's your favorite CLG player? No, you gotta tell me who's your favorite. You only have one choice. Let's say if you don't choose one, then CLG dies. The organization, everyone in there, everyone just dies.
You have to go by attitude. You have to go by the metrics that make a player great, right? So I have like different tiers that I would say like make up a great player, and some players that fall into those tiers.
So who would be S tier?
Ooh, we got tier lists for CLG players now.
People like Darshan. People like people that are super motivated and really trying to improve the team. Jay falls in that category too. There's a lot of like people that people don't know as much, like on our Smash side. Zach and Boyd, are amazingly like great attitudes. There's so many people that I mean, we've tried to build an organization of those people, right? So like a lot of our players, I think, have those qualities. But I'm looking for great attitudes. I'm looking for people that want to get after it, practice hard.
All right.
Take it seriously.
Since we're doing a tier list, that's the S tier. Who's the F tier? I just gotta ask that one.
What do you think, Michael?
Who do I think's an F tier? I think that guy George Elidis is an F tier.
The current owner of CLG, would you say that guy's an F tier?
That guy's an F tier in my book.
What do you know about George, Michael?
What do I know about George Elidis? Yeah. Dude, I've never talked to George Elidis about like anything aside from when I first started streaming. I like talked to him about I guess not negotiate. Yeah, I guess negotiating like some shit.
Oh really?
With
wait, no, that's not true. I thought you guys go like way back. Like, haven't you guys talked a lot?
talked a lot about. I've never really talked to George Georgelitis about anything. I love saying the name George Georgelitis.
I was gonna say
yeah, like
George. Yeah. Don't you like? Isn't there some like demonic contract between you two where like you owe him like a part of your soul at some point? I heard something about that.
Yeah, I don't know if that contract. I don't know if that's something that exists. As far as I'm aware, I mean, my contact with him has pretty much just been like I've talked to him about that kind of stuff. But other than that, nothing really. I don't think there's anyone in the league scene that I've really I don't know, gotten to know on a personal level, I guess.
How can that be true? You're saying there's no one in the league scene that you have a personal connection with?
Maybe.
Scar, how do you feel about this, dude?
I don't feel like I have a personal connection with Scar. Do you feel like you?
No, dude. I don't think we've ever been like, let's talk about life. Usually when I talk to people,
I don't like
we're shooting this shit, and then like we're like having dinner or something, or we're laughing because we're.
Yeah, I've never gone to like the mountainside with Scar holding hands. Let's lie down in the flower beds and look up at the sky, Scar. What do you think about life, dude? I've never done any of that shit with anyone. I like League of Legends, dude. You do too? Let's talk about League of Legends.
That's oddly specific, dude.
I'm just saying that's like when I think of like a personal connection, that's the kind of thing I think of. I don't think I have that kind of connection with anyone. I like to keep business. You know what I mean?
Do you so you just like have that personal connection with like people outside of League or what?
Probably just Leisha. I don't know. Personal connections are a waste of fucking time. That's my opinion on that. I'd rather be... Dude, it's better being a basement-dwelling fucking loser than, like, being friends with people. And that's a fucking fact.
Well, it seemed to work out fine for you, so...
Yeah, that's the goddamn truth right there. But let's get back on topic. Scar, this one... What CLG player of all time is your favorite?
I got a couple names to throw. I don't even know if they'll remember him. I really liked when Neon Tonto was on the. I liked all the people everyone hated. So that's like the only requirement. If everyone rallies against them, they're my boys. So I liked Neon Tonto when he played on CLG. For the short duration where everyone flamed the shit out of him for being an awful top laner. I liked it when Link was on the team for the duration when people flamed the shit out of him for being an awful mid laner. And I liked Huhi, who's still on the team, who's getting flamed for being a bad. So I guess I just like the people who like everyone else hates. But honestly, like I think all three of them were really, really cool. I personally still I talked to Link the other day and played Dota 2 with him. So like I'm still relatively good friends with him. But I like those three are like probably some of the top CLG players I like.
Okay, fair enough then. Let's go to the next one. There haven't been much details about LCS Academy teams, but since they're required and the Challenger ladder is half pro players and Smurfs, won't some of the talent have to be relatively low rated? Yeah, I'm not really sure how that LCS Academy bullshit's going to work because, I mean, they're going to have the same import rules for LCS Academy teams as like LCS teams, right? You can only have 2 imports.
It might be even stricter. I mean, to be honest, like Devin, fill us in here, Melixia. What have you heard about the academy team? Because you guys have to have one.
Yeah, we do. We had one before when all the other teams dropped their academy teams because they couldn't sell them last year. We kept our academy team because we wanted to do next man up as motivation for our players and like to have a team that we could scrim internally against. So we already kind of had like a plan for that going forward. What I would say about like the actual question is, it seems like to me that the academy scene has like a lot of like really tough problems to solve to make it actually interesting, right? Like why are fans going to care about watching it? That's like my biggest worry about it. But as far as like competitive integrity, it's really good, right? Like there's a lot of talent that's coming up from collegiate. There's a lot of programs that are being built in collegiate that I think are going to produce good talent. And we're working with like a lot of different like Tiffin University and Robert, or was it Tiffin is like the one we're working with in particular, but there's other ones that are doing their own programs. I know like SBU, so Robert Morrison University is doing it. A lot of those big ones. So collegiate will produce new talent. New talent will come up, but right now getting it off the ground is like a little bit weird. I like it from a competitive standpoint, but I'm not sure people will care initially.
Okay.
It's hard.
So I've heard some crazy rumors about the salaries that are going to be happening for the collegiate team. I've heard numbers being thrown around that they're going to get paid somewhere between like, I don't know, $50,000 to $80,000 a player. Now, tell me, well,
you think that's a crazy salary?
No. Well, for me, okay.
In this day and age, like no one.
My salary was $35,000.
Woo!
And Keenan can back me up. If I streamed for the month, I could have made like pretty much like that, or like I guess not that, but like I could make like a third of that if I streamed for the entire month.
Well, yeah.
And like nowadays, I would still say for the amount of talent, like maybe some of the talent that some people are going to have are going to be relatively like worth it. But right now, the Challenger ladder, 50% of the ladder is Smurfs or pro players.
Yeah.
So players you can't pick up for your academy team, right?
Yeah, so, they're either contracted or they're just one of Dardoc's 20 accounts. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So because of that, they're going to have to pick up Masters players, maybe even low Masters players. If they're late to the party, they're trying to pick up people who want to go pro. Do you think some of the people are going to go pro just for the money, which has never been a thing before?
Ooh.
Because you're saying this salary is actually legit. Like, it's possible that you could be paying
that
these
sounds
players,
perfectly
right?
reasonable to me in a franchise league with the amount of attention that league is getting. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, how long ago was that your salary was $35,000?
Oh yeah, it was like
3 years, right?
4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Really
That's like a lot has changed since then, man. Like, there's a lot more. So salaries and market value is determined by, on a business side, how well publishers and sponsors can monetize the scene, right? And like people are trying to figure out, how do we make CPM make sense? How do we make viewership make sense? What is a Twitch viewer worth, right? And how is that quantified? What are all these things and how they go forward? And like there's been 4 years of figuring that out, and like a lot more ways to get money around have come into fruition, right? So in doing that, salaries increased a lot, and I think you're going to see. So a big thing is like, right now, like streamers just own, right? Like there's like practically no reason to be a pro if you're just in it for the money, unless you want to be a pro to get a following to stream, right? Because like someone like Michael is going to make like way more than almost anybody in the NALCS.
Yeah, I would say anyone, just period.
I would say that pretty confidently, and I would say that within the next 2 years, that's going to flip around. And you're gonna see pro players making a lot more than streamers could make at the cap.
That's gonna be fucking intense, dude. I can't even imagine. Like the thing is, like I remember back in my day playing. I don't even know how the fuck I don't know how a team operates. Where like maybe this is a question later on, Scar, but I don't know how a team operates where they can make so much money. Like obviously. Like some of them are gonna be losing some money to like do this shit for the long term, but yeah, I mean, maybe you can fill me in on this shit.
Well, a lot of you're basically saying that the way that esports teams make money doesn't make sense.
I mean,
compared to what we're paying.
I mean, I just from when I was on Dignitas, like. When they do merch sales, it's like, nice, I'm going to get a cut. What am I going to get? Oh, I got like $5 for the month. Sick, dude. Nice fucking merch. Oh, the summoner icons are going on sale and Dignitas is going to get a split. How much we get? Scar, how much do we get for that shit?
Like $10.
Yeah, it was just like absolutely fucking pathetic. So when I hear like,
really bad.
Yeah, like when I hear the academy players are gonna be making like 50 to 80K, it's like holy fuck, dude. Like I'm with Scar, like that's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah, that's intense, man.
Yeah,
really? Huh. I guess I just see it different.
I mean, for like the per month of a team, I feel like that's gonna add like because. I mean, realistically, like, what's the academy team gonna add for the team?
Well, they're necessary. Like,
yeah. I mean, obviously they're necessary.
Mandatory.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, aside from being necessary, like, what are they gonna like? Do they actually add that much more value to be worth 50 to 80K?
That's a good question. Depends on how you define value. But for something like a starter team, right? Like organizationally. people are going to pay you. It's not just like the summoners, icons, and stuff like that are kind of like lower methods of monetization, but like, you have icons on your streams that people pay you monthly for. Probably like exposure is like a lot more valuable. The number of people on your broadcast that will like see an advertisement per minutes watched and like how many people that they see, that number is increasing as more people get into the space and realize that there's value. So Michael, like you have like a really unique connection to unique is a good word, unique connection to your viewers. So like your viewers know, like, and trust you, and so the idea from an advertiser is like, okay, well, if I put something in front of this guy's viewers, it's going to sell better, because if Cutie basically says, hey, this is good, they're more likely to buy it, is the idea, right? So there's a higher value put on those things. And so that's how like the team relationships work. So that's like advertisers have become more aware of that and understand that more and more, which has thus increased the revenue of teams over the course of those last 4 years. So that's why like we can justify paying someone more because those channels are better understood. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, like if LCS players start making like if they become like football players and having like multi-million-dollar contracts,
$50 million contracts and stuff.
Yeah, I'd be fucking hyped up because like that, like ultimately, like I love playing video games. I want it to be something that's like an end goal. Like if I'm really good and I put myself to this shit, like I can make something of it. Like I was fortunate enough. I was fortunate enough to do it, not in the way that I guess I had intended, because now I'm just a fucking streamer. But like if you could do that in the LCS, that's fucking awesome. So it just has me. I just feel, I guess, kind of, I don't want to say skeptical, but it just, when I hear these kinds of things, I'm like, holy shit, dude, like, damn, esports is that far now? What the fuck?
I just think it's crazy that, like, some Masters player out there, some like, mid-Masters player out there is going to get paid $50,000 to be on
well, it's already happened, right? Like, if you look at Ember, like, they had.
Yeah, but Ember, dude, don't use Ember as an example. That's the shittiest fucking example. That team was fucking great, and I loved it.
I loved Ember being like, you know what? Everyone should do. Everyone should release salaries to their players. Hold up, we'll go first. And then they release their salaries, and people are like, they're paying that much. And Ember's like, yes, we are, because we respect our players. And then, like 6 months later, they just dissolve because they're spending too much money.
Out of business. Best story in esports, man.
Yeah, like I like the Ember idea, but that was just
the greatest thing is I heard they got free weekly massages too.
Wait, really?
And I was just like, you guys made it, dude. Holy shit! You guys should have just ran with Ember like the entire time.
Yeah, holy shit. Damn. I mean, yeah, like the Ember thing was just. When I saw that, I was like, this shit's too good to be true. That's kind of how I feel now. Yeah. Like, in 2 years, are they going to be making, like, multi-million? I'm sure there's already, like, there's players that are making, like, millions already. But, like, I don't know how far it has to go before, like, everyone's making that much kind of money. Like, do you see that in the foreseeable future, that everyone's going to be making that kind of money?
It's going to go two ways. Like, either it's going to be that, or it's going to be back to 35,000.
Wow, you think it's either going to go through the roof or just crash and burn?
I think so. I mean, I like, there's a lot of hype around esports right now, and that's not like a good thing. So maybe like it could be in the bubble, maybe, but but I think like no matter what, it stabilizes in 7 to 10 years. But, like, this is long tail, right? Like, everyone always thinks things are going to happen faster than they do, right? Like, everyone talks about VR. Like, VR is way further out than everyone thinks it is. Esports is way further out than everyone thinks it is. Green tech was way further out in the 2000s than everyone thought it was. Just as an industry, I think people are expecting more from esports than it's ready for. And so I think you'll see, like, a short-term dip, but then, like, going forward, like, it'll stabilize and be a lot higher. And you will see those prices come up eventually, because that value will be there. And when that happens, you going back to pro, Michael?
Yeah, I was so down. Dude, I tell my chat all the time, if that shit actually happens, if esports turns into fucking like the NFL or some shit, the NFL superstar, I'm a fucking become, who's that old fuck that came back? Fucking Tom Brady or some shit or whatever his name is? That's gonna be me, dude. Yeah, No, Brett Favre. There we go. I'm gonna be the Brett Favre of fucking League of Legends. Mark my words right now, chat. When that shit goes to like multi-million-dollar fucking superstar contract, I'm a cutie pie. I'm gonna be the first one back, baby. And then Scar too. Scar can come with me.
Thanks a lot, dude.
Hey, no problem. All right, though. We'll go to the next topic, though. So, assuming CLG makes franchise, because we've been making a lot of assumptions here. Assuming they make franchising, why should the average league watcher be excited for it?
All right, Devin, this is for you to be able to sell this, because honestly, I think me and Kitty have talked about franchising quite a bit. Like, it's different to hear from like the voice of like someone who's like in like right there on the forefront of a franchise organization. Like, why should people care? Why should I care?
It sounds like you think it's a bad thing.
I don't know the benefits. I think it's a good thing for all the players and the orgs. But like,
so
what about the spectators?
Scar, if you were so think about this, right? If I think this topic is gonna like maybe piss some people off, but like if you were still in League of Legends and still playing, right? Okay. What imagine what your brand would be like, right? Where like you got out of League, why would you say that you stopped playing professionally?
I would just say commitment reason.
Okay, so you would say that you weren't able to perform at your best because of other stuff going on in your life or whatever, right?
Sure, yeah.
Is that fair? Okay. So the reason why you probably had to get out of the league was because relegation is super feast or famine, right? If you're not able to commit at that level and perform at that 100% for whatever reason, you have to get out because the team has to survive or you're not there. So when franchising comes into place, that goes away. And that those brands that could have potentially been there for years and years to come become things that fans can attach to. And so you could envision you being a brand within the LCS that people know for 5 to 10 years, like you see in NBA. And so people have that time to build that legacy and that story with that narrative that you have. And I think that's very powerful. And I think that story, like I think LCS is like about storylines. Like that's why if you watch a CLG versus TSM game, we have the highest viewership. You watch a 10th place team against the 8th place team, no one gives a shit, right? Because there's no story or narrative around those players. They have no soul to the players. They have no soul to the viewers. And like the way that you get people involved in watching and caring is like you tell good stories, and those stories take time to develop, and they take a lot of like energy and effort on the part of the publisher and our content team to make. So I think the franchise does that very well, and it's something to be really excited about, that we get to be closer to those players. We get to watch them rise and fall as competitors, and it's not just based on this like relegation, you're in or you die thing where like, Steve has to drop some untold, unfathomable beyond the imagination amount of money to, pull in double F to save his team, right? Like that stuff that stuff just doesn't happen anymore. Legacy is really important. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like, where would you be if like in 7 or 8 years you were still in the LCS and like you had all that time to build all that?
I agree with you, honestly, but some of it is like I think that the players don't build good storylines for themselves. Like, because
that's really fair. Yeah,
they don't really put themselves out there. Like when you think of like people, like for instance, let's look at the bottom of the teams. Like let's look at FlyQuest. Okay, you look at FlyQuest. Obviously the person you think of when you think of FlyQuest. That guy's like been long history. But he's very outspoken. He's very, very outspoken about what he believes in and like how he like he has a lot of history on all that stuff. But like he's a personality. And then who else on that team can you say off the top of your head? You got Moon, you got Balls, you got Lemon, you got I was gonna say Altec, but it's not Altec. It's Turtle. And so like Turtle is probably the second person you think of. But I would say that a lot of times people don't really build themselves up very well. Like when you're a pro player, you just focus on being the best pro player that you can be. And I think that when me and QT started, we focused on being like a pro player, but we also were just like, it was like such a new thing for me that I really just wanted to be like I was just so happy in the moment. Like, I'm still really happy to be where I am. But, like, I remember back then, people were like, you want to do an interview? I never asked them, what org are you from? Like, why would I do an interview? I would just, like, put the camera in my face. I love to talk. And then we just did it. And I probably did, like, 200 interviews in the first 2 years. Or
That's
3 years.
Why you're at, like, look, like, I would say, like, some of the responsibility has to be on the player. Like, I remember when I was on Dig, Michael would get up at 7 a.m. every day, and start.
Oh yeah, he's
right?
a monster. Yeah,
he's a monster. Yeah, and like, look where he is today. Like, there's no coincidence, right? It's that hard work and that equity that he put in to build this. And I think that, like, it's that responsibility is on every player, but it's also on the organization. It's on me at CLG, and it's also on the publisher to be able to create those narratives. And those three people build that storyline. But it's like really sad to me when you have a player that just doesn't take those opportunities, right? And like then like fades into nothingness, right? Because like if you don't take advantage of those things, what skills do you have after you stop playing? And that's like a serious problem that CLG is trying to solve.
Well, Kitty, what skills do you have now that?
I'm good at video games. That's a skill. I mean, for the franchising thing, though, I definitely agree with what you were saying. Like, being able to build the story is it's what makes League of Legends interesting. Like, I feel like when League of Legends was in its infancy, the reason why people love the game, it was just the same fucking teams playing each other. Like, it was basically already in franchise mode. Like, it was just the same established teams that just played against each other all the time. And you just got stories built from there, and it just made it interesting. What I'm worried about and why I'm like, franchising is great for the teams and shit. I'm not sure how good, or I'm not sure how much it'll change for the spectators because, yeah, unless the players are actually going to be putting themselves out there. Because the thing is, how much do players practice? Do they still practice like 8 hours a day?
Yeah, it's worse actually now. Like usually like 3 blocks.
Okay. Three blocks in Water League? That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say like, that. No, I don't want to say that Rise should implement something that.
I'll say that. Absolutely, like they should compete. You should be able to practice less, or like the schedule should be less.
Yeah, like I don't think that they should have to
100%.
fucking play this game 24 fucking 7. Because the thing is, you're not gonna build fucking interesting storylines if they're playing this fucking game 24/7 and they can't do anything else. Like, if you want someone to be on social media doing something, it's like, hey guys, I'm playing my scrims for 10 hours a day. That's my tweet. Hey guys, I'm on the computer right now. 10 hours late, I'm still on the computer. Everyone,
you can actually see that. It's so. I think there's someone who does that. I think Sven Skaren does that the best. When you look at his tweets, he tweets to tweet. And it's so funny. Yeah, because it's just like he has to have just like a tweet out of the day. He's like, what do I do? What do I say? I love playing my team. Today was great. A great day of script. It's so funny, actually.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, like, I don't know if people are going to hate me for saying that, but I feel like you should have something in the rules that say, like, you can't scrim more than, like, 12 hours a day. You can't scrim more than 10 hours a day.
Dude, 12 is I mean, like,
yeah.
But look, like, don't you feel like, Michael, like, don't you feel like the feast or famine kind of thing from relegation was what fed into that people had to practice that much? Because if they didn't, you were done, right? Like, you had to, like, keep up with this impossible bar, right?
Yeah, like, you had to compete, or if someone was better than you, you're getting fucking relegated. That's it.
You're dead. So, like, I think that franchising, like, starts to solve that problem, but what's your feelings on, like, just in general shortening the competition schedule?
I think if they did that, I think that would be great, because the thing is, if you give more players more time to stream, like, no one's going to fucking wake up like I did. Like, what I did was fucking dumb as fuck. I woke up at 7 a.m. every single fucking day, streamed until I scrimmed, and then I streamed after I scrimmed. No one's going to fucking do that. That's stupid as fuck. Like, they should be able to stream at, like, the luxury that they feel like. Like, streaming, obviously, it's not the most important thing to being a pro, but it helps to build their brand up. It helps to build the team up. It helps to just do so much more than, like, people realize. Like, obviously you want to take the game as seriously as possible because competing is the most important thing and all that bullshit. But, like, people want to be entertained ultimately. And if you don't, like another great example. Like, I think Sneaky's a really good example. Like, he's got a great following because he streams like a lot more than any other player streams. Like, if more players can do that kind of stuff, they don't have to be as fucking huge as like Sneaky. But as long as they're like accumulating fans, they're getting more people to like care. Like, the problem is just a lot of people don't fucking care, and I think that's a fucking shame because I think League of Legends.
I think some of the players are like so interesting, right? Like, a great example is actually FlyQuest Moon. And recently this year he's been doing like vlogs and stuff. But like, if you ever talk with that guy, like, he's very intelligent. He's really funny to talk to, and he could like honestly like he could kill it on any kind of interview or any certain like content you'd like to make with him, I think. And it was really hard for anyone to ever see that because if you even talked about him behind the scenes in Scrim, because I had first heard of him then, they're just like, dude, have you heard about Moon? He's so smart in the jungle. Like, that guy, he's so intelligent. I remember even talking to Acadian. Acadian's like, I think I'm mechanically better than him, but like in terms of like thinking about the game, he's just way ahead of me. And I was like, whoa, dude, who is this mysterious man? And I think that like, yeah, it just sucks that people like him don't have like, I guess aren't being built up to where I think they can be like really personal. I think people can love him, to be honest. And to be fair, some people do.
Yeah, but I also feel like, I mean, it goes with like the player has to want it, the organization has to like put in the effort to like put the player in the spotlight.
So many moving parts.
Yeah, and then Riot themselves have to actually like give like they have to craft the storylines for someone to care about. Yeah, let's say Moon. And I don't know if all of that happens to like combine into something where someone wants to watch Moon.
All I'm gonna say is some of the orgs are like super, like in terms of creating content, like they think that just making a show about the LCS is it. Like that's content creation for them.
Oh my god, yes, I know.
That is so wrong. Like I get I get so upset, and part of the reason why I get upset is because I had players come up to me this season. Because I was at like a party and some of them came up to me and they're just like, I was talking to them like, oh yeah, how's your stream doing, man? Like I saw you streaming some more, and they're just like, yeah, you know what's weird? I've had more support from you hosting me than I have from my org this year. And I was just like, holy shit. And like it's mind blowing that like me hosting the smaller streamers on pro teams helps them more than their orgs do. Like that's crazy. That blows my mind. That should never happen.
There are individual influence. Cutie Pie is a perfect example, right? I mean, he has probably more influence overall than entire esports teams in the current league.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Cutie,
yeah, for sure.
Cutie guy.
I mean, I don't even feel like you're gonna like how would a team? I don't know. I don't see how a team could make like a huge drastic like if all of FlyQuest started focusing on Moon to try to build up his stream. I don't think that they could do. They couldn't make him into like the greatest fucking like everyone's gonna start watching him. Like I think like Devin said, there's so many moving parts to it. Franchising I think is a great direction. I'm just not sure if it's all gonna actually start being cohesive and like making sense, or if it's just gonna be the same shit but now it's franchising.
Like if you had like what would you rather have if you're a starting streamer? Would you rather have every single player actually like every single person in P1 host you simultaneously, or would you rather have Cutie Pie do it? Like it's a super straightforward answer.
Yeah, like I know when I first started streaming, like the great thing about Dignitas is like a lot of us streamed and a lot of us like I just remember like Scar would host me sometimes. I'd be so fucking hyped. I'd be like, oh my god, Scar fucking hosted me. Like let's fucking go, dude. Like I'm getting all these fucking viewers. I'm doing it up now. I don't think there's really that many teams that do that anymore, but like that kind of shit helps out so much when like everyone wants. Let's all fucking band together and start fucking doing this shit, man. Let's go. So
can I ask you guys this would be really valuable for me, Michael and Scar. Like, what do you guys feel like? How do we, as an organization, get players incentivized to actually broadcast and build their brands? Because I think about you a lot, Michael, and like how I watched you get up every morning to do that, and I've just never ever seen a player do that, and I why? Like what drives that, and like how do we encourage that?
I got an interesting one. Kitty, you go first.
I mean, the thing is, for me, like, I just liked playing the game, so it's not like, it wasn't like, oh my god, I gotta wake up and play this piece of shit, and now I gotta fucking scrim. It's like, well, I'm gonna play, and I guess I can wake up earlier and stream it for people and shit. Like, I think that the incentive, like, obviously, money is a great incentive. I don't know if you can incentivize them with, like, hey, I'm sure that there are teams, that maybe CLG is one of them, that incentivize, like, if you stream this many hours, we'll give you this much money or some bullshit. But I feel like, I don't think, I'll start off with, I don't think every player needs to be, like, streaming. I think that, if someone wants to stream, like, let's say if Aframu wants to stream, I think that CLG as a brand needs to do everything in their power to, like, lift them up and encourage them, like, hey, what's your problems when you stream? What's going on? Do you need help with anything? Do you want to fucking try to have someone to play with? Do you want your AD to play with you or some shit? Do you want us to offer him some money to fucking wake up or some shit? Like, that kind of stuff. Like, if you encourage them to want to, like, keep doing it and keep going at it with, like, whatever the fuck they want, that's good. But I don't know. I feel like I'm just a weird case where there's nothing really, like, Dignitas didn't do anything to encourage me. Like, dude, I was getting paid fucking wrong, I was getting paid $30K a fucking, like, year. So I got like fucking jack shit. Like, I didn't give a fuck about Dignitas. I love Odie.
I actually think that was better because we realized that, like, we couldn't make money through Dig, so we had to stream to survive.
Yeah, like, I'd look at my bank account. I was like, oh baby, it's payday. Let's see what I got. Oh, there's nothing in here yet. And then it'd just be like, well, guess I'm streaming, everyone. See you later. Like, that kind of shit. That's not happening anymore. But yeah, I just say try to, like, encourage the people that want to stream, the people that want to put themselves out there, like, help them create the content that they want to create. I don't fucking know that.
Okay, my opinion is a little bit different. So, I work with, like, a bunch of random content creators / talent every day, right? And the biggest thing, and pro players, the biggest thing I've learned is that everyone is super lazy. Like, let's just throw it out there. Everyone enormously lazy. Like, they're good at what they do, but they're really lazy about it. And
to an extent that would surprise everyone who's not in the scene.
Yes. The thing you have to do is, it's like, you gotta. Actually, it's really hard because I think that what the problem for the teams is the same problem as for orgs when they're talking about sponsoring different people. Is that I think that people don't. You have to create a situation where the player would want to do the product and then literally make it everything possible. They show up for an hour to do the video or whatever you're going to make for them, and they love to do it, and that's it. And everything is up to that point completely like done, and you only trust them to be talent for the time that they're on camera. So essentially, you assume that if you're pro player or you're talent, whatever, completely incompetent in anything other than doing what they're good at, which I would say is a fair assumption a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And then you create unique content that they want to be in. But that's super hard, right? Because you have to come up with, like, you have to, like, script the content, you have to, like, think of the idea yourself, and you have to do so much, like, brainstorming behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's just too much. Especially
literally, that's what my house does. Every single morning, every single evening, my house is literally people just thinking of ideas. Like, offline TV, even for my own brand, for sponsorships, activations, all that stuff, people just spend hours literally every day. Like, after this, I have to think of what to do for my next video. Like a huge educational piece that I'll be storyboarding with my manager, and I have to create that from the ground up. And so, like, literally, I know how hard it is, and that's what I think a lot of people lack. A lot of teams lack because they're just not, because the content they release is like, oh yeah, let's get these pro players to talk about the champion they're really good at. Okay, Cutie is really good at Lucian. Just get him in front of the camera and have him do a guide for us. And Cutie doesn't want to do a guide about Lucian. Cutie doesn't give two shits about doing a guide for, like, this org about Lucian. But, like, the incentive is like, okay, well, how about we do it like we're doing, like, a photo shoot where we get Cutie in a Lucian cosplay. and we script out like a whole scene with him. That would be sick. Cutie gets to keep the cosplay for his stream as well, so he'd love to do it. I'm assuming he'd like at least be somewhat interested. And like the scene itself or the script itself is really funny. And so like that's like a way to like, okay, your talent's interested or like your pro player's interested and you got like a cool product that everyone else is also interested about. And then you can like, you know, hype it up, you know, on social media. Oh my God, dude, what is this? You know, you show like build up like a picture of Kitty and like Lucia cosplay. What are we about to do? That's what I think at least. But I just think that like right now, orgs think that like having the idea is good enough when it's not. Like they don't have content planners. They just have people who think of ideas. And that's usually the biggest problem for orgs.
No, I definitely agree with what you said, though. Yeah, like, I feel like, I mean, for when I played, a big problem with some of the content created, it was content created for the viewer, which is great. But, so, let's say, you know, Cutie, back when he played LCS, you know, I played a lot of Jinx. It's like, well, what do people want? Well, they want a guide about Jinx. Jinx guide from Cutie. Like, what does Cutie want? I don't want to fucking do a Jinx guide. Well, put out the Jinx guide, dude. This is what everyone wants. You have me just, I like Jinx. She hits towers. It's awesome, dude. And then it's like one viewer, why didn't this is what they wanted, dude. They want the Jinx guide, but they didn't watch it. It's like, no shit, dude. I didn't give a fuck about this shitty ass content. Like, it's the most half-assed, like, yes, this guy plays this champion, and everyone in League of Legends also plays this champion. Let's make a guide about this champion. It's like, okay, well, I'm just going to fucking half-ass the guide because I don't give a fuck about talking about some stupid-ass shit. Like, I agree with you on that one, Sky.
Yeah. And imagine if instead of that, it was like Cutie dressed up as Jinx doing a skit, dude. I don't know if Cutie would want to do that, but that would pop off for sure.
Yeah, you got to get creative with it. You got to make it something
and that's sexy. The hardest thing. And what every
it's really hard.
That's what every team lacks right now. Because for creativity, every team is like, okay, we'll do an LCS show and we'll give it to our editor. Okay, just throw it through Vegas or something. You know, a few spins and then whatever comes out, it'll be good. And it's like, that's not how it works, dude.
Yeah, and you get like the stereotypical shots of like the camera dude on the ground and like the hardcore like arms crossed, like looking down at the ground and the heavy metal music. Yeah, it's like we got to do a lot better. Like, so you're saying you guys are saying that like if a player cares about the actual content and like wants to do it, it's going to be that much better of a piece.
Because 100%. Like, and it's like the problem right now. Working, I'm just like call them influencers. I don't like this thing, but like when people come to people like me or Kitty with sponsors for sponsorships, like, and they're just like, okay, we want you to do this. Just do this, and it's like that's not how it works, you know. It should be like they contribute something. It's like a two-way street. They contribute something that we would then use to like that like corresponds well with our audience to be able to like do something else, right? And that's like not the case at the moment. So it's not just a problem with organizations; it's a problem with sponsorships all over the place. And like I kind of figured out like some solutions for it, but like I'm not. It's weird, to be honest.
But you have to be on top of it. Like, Cutie, you don't really do a lot of your YouTube stuff. Like, pretty much that's just stuff that you have a team for, right?
No, I just have one guy. I have like someone that I used to play with.
I talked with Second Sequence as editor. He's literally like, I'm done.
Wait, there's just one guy?
Yeah, it was like some guy I used to play League of Legends with, and then I just asked him to start doing these videos for me.
Oh, okay. I thought you had like a whole team behind you or something.
Hell no.
Eugene's slaving away his back cave, being like, "Please, Kitty, don't make me edit."
Yeah, I just keep telling him, put out more fucking videos. That's the team effort right there. He's like, I don't want to put out another video. I'm like, put another one out.
Why don't you hire like 6 people with how big your YouTube is, what you've got going on? Like, there's other teams there's other YouTubes equivalent to yours that have like literally 5 full-time staff.
Oh man, I can answer this question.
This guy answer it.
Well, there's like a big difference in supply and demand, I think, where it's like, yeah, right now video editors are super wanted, like super wanted. Mm-hmm. Everyone and their moms are just like, okay, we need video editors because good video editors are very rare. Like, we at the very top, you'd have like people like Second Sequence, and I would say Fedmeister are pretty good. And then you have people who like used to work all over the place, like voice editor John, and then you have like who now works at some random place, and we have like old Pokey's editor, which is now working at FaZe, and then we got like old Darius's editor Ornieta, which is now working for like Pokey. So like for the most part, like at the very top, there's not enough talent to go around. And like if you want to be an editor, some of the editors like just want to do their own channel by themselves, or at most one other person. Because like if the sweatshop like 6 editor thing works for some people, right? Some people have that, but like it's also it's better for numbers. But it's literally like you're treating your editors like they're garbage, like they're trash. So to some extent.
I mean, they kind of are though. We're just throwing that one out there. Continue.
I'm gonna get. I hope Eugene's watching this, dude. So I talked to him next. He's like, "Yeah, dude, I want to leave. I'm a cutie pie."
Dude, he's stuck with me. He already knows that. I'll give him full, like, you don't have to let me know anything. If one day you just want to leave the fucking channel, dude, go for it, man. He has full control of his life. It's up to him at this point. But yeah, I agree with Scar about like, I don't know. I don't want to turn it into like some sweatshop shit. Like all you motherfuckers start making these goddamn videos right now. I need 2 videos per day. I don't give a fuck how you get them. Just make the goddamn video. It's like, I just let my editor do his thing. He's happy with it. I'm happy with it.
It hyper burns out editors too. Like the reason Darius' editor left is because like he wanted that more like individual kind of stuff, and Darius is moving toward like multiple editors. You know, Nightblue is looking for more editors because like one of them left because like he couldn't handle like the insane like video a day workload that Nightblue wants, right? And then like Bunny's got like 5 editors, some like a lot, but he still has to request editors all the time because like some are busy or like some just burn out. And so like video editors right now, very, very wanted thing, but the amount of time you have to put in for it is like terrible in terms of like the money you get unless you're solo working like a big ass channel. Like Second for sure gets paid more than anyone else in terms of editing. But like, and so like usually the average payment, you're only like a channel like 200K is not going to be that much.
I see. Wow.
Unless you're literally slaving away. Like you're just slaving away. Like once we got Fed is like, because he's worked for Offline TV, he does less videos for Dom, and a lot of it is because he doesn't want to edit League of Legends content. He spends 12 hours to edit one video, 8 to 12 hours. And he's just like, this is mind-numbingly bad. And even though like it's okay, like at some point, like most of the video editors, they'll have more aspirations. They go to film school, they go do something else, you know, they go
they want to do story production stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually it's not just like, oh my God, I would love to be a League of Legends highlight video editor for the rest of my life. Like the next 20 years, that's the highest.
Yeah, I need to have a talk with Second Sequence. What the fuck? I didn't realize people had like aspirate. Like I just figured he wanted to edit these stupid ass League of Legends videos for the rest of his fucking life, dude.
You're lucky with Second. I've talked to him already. He wants to grow your channel as big as he can.
Yeah, he always talks about growing the channel. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. He's like, I'm gonna get you bigger than PewDiePie. Dude, just stop fucking talking to me. Make another fucking video. Stop sending me these goddamn messages already. I gotta have a talk with that boy, dude. Something ain't right with that kid. But we've been on this topic too long. Let's get on the final topic. The final topic, the live question and answer segment, because this is what the people really want. The people, what the people
we have
want.
A live Q&A?
Yeah, we're gonna have a live question and answer. We
Sick.
got answers to everyone's questions because everyone. I know you guys have some fantastic questions. We are running a little late for the question and answer segment, so my apologies. But let's go ahead and take a little look there. I'm
gonna get up. I have a wireless headset, so I can still be here.
That's fine, man. If you need a little walk, take a little walk. We'll start off with question number 1, probably the most important question. We're gonna start off with just an instant classic. Delivio wants to know.
Oh God, no.
Devin, are you more of an I'm a cutie pie type of person or a double lift type of person?
I'm definitely more of a cutie pie type of person.
In terms of what though? I would like to know. In terms of skill, in terms of everything, in terms of all around human being.
Yeah, overall.
Oh.
Well, Devin, finally someone gives me a straight shooter, dude. He doesn't fucking give me some bullshit about, well, I gotta consider this, and I gotta consider this. This is why this man's the CEO of CLG, man. He's a straight shooter, and I respect that. Let's go to the next topic then. Got that one out of the way. The Historians wants to know, this one will be at me and Scar. Do you want to see tanks to be adjusted to not have just large health pools, but rather to have to actively tank?
No, I just want them to be weaker. I don't want tanks to be strong enough to literally oppress other roles from the game. Like, the fact that they changed Cinderhulk and added Bramble Vest in, like, similar patches, like, close patches is like, I don't know. They just don't like things that can do stuff with the tanks. Is what it feels like.
So you agree with Ashinshin then about the topic of Bramble Vest?
I think Bramble Vest and to a large extent, Executioners that passive should never be allowed at that gold point. It should be a thing you build into, or it should have a reduced effect at that gold value. Like there's like it automatically just destroys certain healing champs, and I don't think it should be that case.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I think that tanks are pretty active right now. They do a lot of stuff. It may not seem like the fucking Gragas is doing that much, but a lot of what goes into tanking is like the mind games behind it. Like, all right, you're this close to me where I can like body slam flash you. Are you gonna take the risk, or do you think that I'm just fucking trying to do some like chicken shit with you? Like that kind of stuff. Like a lot of people don't appreciate it, but that's like the kind of stuff that goes into tanking. So I definitely think that they are doing a lot of stuff. But yeah, they don't need that much help. Like for the amount of pressure that they can exert, they don't need that much help. So, let's go to my man Akiba Y wants to know at Devin, what rank were you when you played League of Legends? Do you still play League? I think you muted yourself.
No, he's here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's here. We're good.
Okay. Fuck.
Yiddy?
I don't think I can hear him.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I can hear you now. Hey, you're coming in loud and clear now.
Okay,
right,
okay.
So the highest I got was Plat 1. I think, so I'm going to be honest here, is like, I had loss aversion for ranked, and I think I could have probably gotten higher if I played a lot more ranked, but on my stream I did viewer games. So are people telling me I'm muted?
You're not muted. He's just spamming.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, so I think like if I like basically I did sub games, right? So I would do like actually like the whole Sub Wars thing with Trick 2G and I, like the first iteration of that was like our streams together doing that. So I think it's my fault, right? But I feel like I could have gotten higher if I kept doing it. But altogether, there was a time like when I was on Dignitas and I was like in an active coaching role that I understood the game a lot. But who knows? Like maybe I couldn't have, like, because I never did. So hard to say.
So you ended at Plat 5 or whatever?
Plat 1.
Plat 1? Okay. Oh, that's pretty good then. Damn. Let's see. No, I actually think. I think that's pretty good, dude. Okay, I think that being Plat 1's not bad. Like realistically, unless you're grinding this game, like Scar,
this
me
was
and you.
Before Masters.
Okay. Yeah, like me and you used to play this game like fucking for our entire fucking lives, basically. So
no, I'm not. I'm just saying I've heard that exact response to one of your viewers told you his rank in chat, and that's like the response you gave him. You're like, that's not bad, you know?
Yeah, I think that's decent. All right, fuck this
really?
guy. Yeah, I actually think that's like good. Like the thing is, like people have unrealistic expectations with like their ranks or whatever. Like they think like unless like they hear a streamer talk, like a streamer says, unless I'm challenger, I'm shit. Like everyone below that's garbage. You shouldn't fucking expect that from like your average like my average viewer shouldn't think unless they're like challenge or they're garbage. They should think unless they're like gold, which is like what is that? The 80th percentile or some shit. Like, gold is pretty good. Like, if you're gold, more power to you, man. I mean, if you're
like the majority of people, like, what are the? Does anyone know the stats? Like, it's like the majority of people are silver,
bronze
or,
and
or
silver. Yeah,
it's like silver bronze.
I think that's like
Where
70%.
Where I always wonder like where these people actually are, because like you listen to Twitch chat and like everyone tells you they have like an IQ of like 150, play 5D chess, and are like Masters League, and it's like, wow, there are a lot of you guys. You would figure that there'd be more silver and bronze players.
Yeah, I mean, dude, my Twitch chat, let me tell you something.
Up.
My Twitch chat is the concentration of some of the best players. I don't have any question in my mind that these are the greatest minds in League of Legends. Like, every one of them is probably Masters and Challenger. Most likely.
Every one of them.
Yeah,
every
probably.
One of your 20,000.
But let's go to the next topic. Dick B wants to know, why are there no female LCS players? Do you think they're just not enough good female players? The screen is that drastically dominated by males. Is there anything that could be done to target this? So as the CEO of CLG, I had to take this topic because the CEO of CLG, what is going to be done under franchising for the disenfranchised female League of Legends player?
I can't wait.
All right. Well, what keeps a female gamer from playing at the same level as a guy? I can speak to what I know as far as like running a professional women's team in CSGO for CLG Red. It doesn't appear to me that there is any difference between the competitive ability of a female and a male to play together, i.e. that they're mentally at the same level, that they could be just as good. I don't really so for that reason I don't fully understand why that hasn't manifested. What I can say is that there are often a lot of different circumstances as to why a girl might not want to play at that level, because she actually has other stuff going on. So one of the biggest problems that we've had with CLG Red and finding a lot of talent for that in CSGO is not that like the women can't do it. The women are quite good. It's just that they have other interests and they don't want to play video games to the extent that guys do. Maybe that's like a societal thing, or I don't know, but there shouldn't be anything like if you took two players and put them down and they put the same amount of dedication into it, and they put the same amount of time and devotion and had the same attitude, there shouldn't be anything keeping a woman back from what a man can do.
I can agree with that. I mean, I was just going to say the same thing as you. I feel like there's nothing genetically stopping a woman from being as good as a man, if that's what this person asking the question is hoping to hear. I just feel like the thing that stops, the thing that pretty much stops, like most men are just, we just play video games all fucking day. There's no like, I don't want to say like societal norms and go all this like feminist and like all this shit that I'm going to start spewing out, but like, I don't know, different things are expected of different people. Women, yeah, maybe they don't play as much as guys. I'm sure there are some women that play a lot. Like, I know there were some female players that were Challenger. Did they play? Did they keep at it? I don't fucking know. Maybe they name changed. Maybe they didn't. But, yeah, if they wanted to go pro, if they got the Challenger, hey, if you keep at it, you probably can. But they probably had better shit to do. But
yeah, that seems to be what happens most of the time. Is that people just have different stuff to do, and like they just have different priorities. I think it gets harder, right, as like you get older. It just changes, right?
Yeah, I mean, Scar, what do you think's stopping it?
Whoa.
Yeah, you got to take this question too.
No,
like,
I mean,
yeah.
What do you, dude? I'm with all of you guys. Honestly, you guys are just killing it with the answers.
You can't just take a cop out. What's your opinion on it, Scar?
You
Come
can't
on.
just do that. Don't politic your way out of the answer. Like.
I don't know. I'm definitely with Devin on in that. Like, I'm not qualified enough to answer this question. Like, I haven't done enough research, and it's definitely one of those answers that could like explode in my face if I say anything crazy. Generally, it just seems that like there's just not that much interest to play as long as or to go competitive as there is for like males. I don't know why the reason is. I think a lot of it's just because it's like there's so much more scrutinized, honestly, as female players, like to the insane degree, like to the point where it's like almost always malicious in terms of comments or anything like that. Where it's like, yeah, if I was a female player, like why would I want to go pro when I can do all this other shit that would be like that would make me happier, you know, or like be financially better. Like right now is the first time where it's like I can go pro for the money, you know. I need a payday. I need to get on an academy team. So like, I think right now is probably the only chance someone can ever be like, I'm going to go pro, and just for financial reasons, and maybe that will incentivize people, especially girl players, to be like, okay, you know, there's a route. I can see it. Whereas before, the route to get to LCS as a girl player, I don't even know. As a guy, it was just when I go through the challenger scene, and the challenger scene is a mess, and like, I don't even know how to get through that. Like, it's just like the Wild Wild West in there. And then it's just on top of the fact that they were heavily screwed any kind of thing that they did in and out of the game, I just thought it wasn't worth it. Now, though, may change in the next coming years. We'll see.
Follow-up question.
Isn't there a really promising challenger support player that's a girl? I think my pro players would know who she is. She's like really, really good. Like super pro good.
No.
Do you guys know?
No.
Might not be in NA.
Oh wait, are you talking about there was like a video or some shit for that? Like it was a Chinese girl?
Yes. Yes.
I think I remember. I saw what you're talking about on Twitter or whatever. I'm not sure exactly though, but I think I saw.
Oh, actually, that's a good thing. Like in China, there's female players actually. They have like their own leagues and stuff. But China's player base is insane. Like so it's really hard to compare, I think.
Let me ask Zach. But it'll come to me. We can keep going.
Sky, I wanted to ask a follow-up question. You brought up some interesting points. So a follow-up question to what you were saying.
Yeah,
so you said that the primary motivating factor you think for females going now into the future of joining an academy team is money compared to what you would say what would you say is a male's primary motivating factor? The fame? I'm just curious. Bro, I want to clear this up for the chat.
You spun that shit like gold right there.
I just need to clear it up for the chat.
That was like, oh my god.
This guy just completely avoids the question. There it is. You turned
my words into just. I feel like I just got politic right there. What just happened?
Cutie the wordsmith, dude. Cutie, would you ever run for president, man?
Hell no.
I'd vote for you over Trump.
I would vote for you in an instant.
I'm just saying.
You guys are what's wrong with fucking America.
I'm not even disagreeing.
Fuck both of you, Dad. Nightmare XZ wants to know, at me and Sky, and Melixia can answer too, what do you think about the next Runes Reforged? So they've shown a little bit more of the Runes Reforged system. So I'm going to say, until I can actually test it, I have no opinion of it. It looks cool, but a lot of things in this game, Ornn looked cool, and then I played them. So that's my opinion on the subject. Skara?
Similar opinion. I don't even read PvE notes because I want the stuff in front of me before I can say anything about it. Runes, definitely cutting runes out allows there to be less barrier to play the game competitively, or just like at like a good level. Like there should never be that many barriers of entry to play the game competitively, in my opinion, or just at like a high level. I think one of the things stop casual players from being able to compete. One of like the soft blocks, so to speak. Taking that, removing that, definitely good. It was an archaic thing, but they can still mess it up. Like 100%, it's possible to mess it up, you know? And knowing Riot, they'll probably mess it up, and then they'll probably spend the season fixing. That's how I think.
Okay, fair enough. We'll take two more questions. So we'll start off with Authority wants to know, at Devin, when do you think the number of teams in the LCS will increase from 10? And will Academy system help this happen?
Super great question. I think that over the course of the next couple of years, Riot will do that. I actually don't know. I'm under a bunch of NDAs, but I actually don't even know in my NDAs if that was going to happen. But I can guess that over the course of the next couple of years it will, because like Riot probably wants to establish a foundation where they are confident in the teams that they have, and then after that they can start like slowly expanding the league. I have no idea where it ends up though, and I think that the Overwatch League has a lot to do with like what's going to happen there, and like when Riot is very smart, and that they're kind of like waiting to see what works and what doesn't with that league, and based on that, I think they're going to make some different decisions. So like in the event that the Overwatch League is very successful, during this podcast we actually just announced that we are not pursuing the Overwatch League. Then I think Riot makes different decisions. But there was a really good quote that said that the Overwatch League is either going to put esports ahead 10 years or backwards 10 years. And that's pretty much how I feel about it.
Dude, I want to talk about that for 1 second. Like, boy, is my face red. When we talked about the Overwatch League, I was like, this is the stupidest fucking thing. No one's going to pay any money for this bullshit. And then it, like, all the spots are filled now, right?
Yeah. And, like, literally, Envy got a $30 million buy in from, like, Hirsch or whatever. Comcast is in it. And they're in Philadelphia. By the way, it's supposed to be a global league. 5 of the 8 spots are in North America. So it's got London, Korea, and China, I think, are the 3 others. And I'm just like, wait, it's a global league, but really it's like North America plus like some stragglers.
Yeah, I must be so fucking out of it, because when I heard this shit, I heard like the amount, I was like, Overwatch, huh? That's a cool idea. But I mean, Sky, you agreed with me on that. What do you think of that?
If it works, dude, it'll be great. Like, they have some of the largest sponsors coming in ever of all time, right? And so if it works, that's only better for everyone in the scene. But if it doesn't work, then sponsors are going to be like, well, we tried.
Exactly.
That's what I'm worried about.
It's actually a really scary time, because either esports like catapults forward and it is amazing, or it kind of goes the exact opposite way, and we have to like really struggle to convince people why it's worth it. I mean, I think that there's a lot of money in that scene right now, and I don't know how much sense goes along with it.
And the funniest thing is they have a humongous sponsors, right? In terms of player salaries, most of the players too, or like the salaries I know of that people got in the Overwatch League aren't even as big as League players for the most part. And I'm just like, interesting.
The money's in different ways, right? Like the money's going between publishers. The money's like going at a high level. It's not coming down to players. Yeah,
sure, but that feels really bad as a player. It's like, oh my god, we got $30 million.
Yeah, I can't fucking imagine. That's the other thing. Like, if I was a player, like if I was on Dignitas and I heard Dignitas $30 million investment, I would be like, oh my fucking god, $30 million. What do I get out of it? Nothing.
Yeah, like I've heard of player salaries under 6 figures, and I'm just like, Jesus, like that I would be like, I don't know about upset, but I would be surprised. But apparently, it's like a thing where, and I don't think that's the case in a league franchise. I'm talking about the challenger scene getting so much money that I'm scared. But like, if we're seeing challenger salaries or like the academy league salaries mirror some of the like worst players in the franchise Overwatch slot, that's so scary for me. And not to mention that like the behind the scenes for the Overwatch League sounds so bad that like players are just getting like orgs don't know what's going on. So they just want to sign players for extended amounts of years at really low salary amounts before like any of the players found out. And some of the players accidentally, because they don't know better, sign contracts that like completely screwed them. And I'm just like, wow, like that's the scene that you decide to throw in $200 million into.
Yeah, like, that's the thing is, like, God, man, I just must have a fucking awful concept. Like, how the fuck did they talk to these investors? And it's like, let me show you why Overwatch League this is what you need to invest $30 million into. Like, I just want to see, like, how could they word this? Like, this is a $30 million venture. You're going to make all your money back. Again, I could just be talking out of my ass. Again, Overwatch could be the next greatest fucking thing. It'll revolutionize esports, and it'll be... I don't think that's going to happen. I think Overwatch League's fucking... I just can't fucking see it. But maybe I'm just blinded by my League fanboyism, so... Scar, do you think Overwatch League's going to revolutionize esports?
Yes. I think they're leading actually in terms of like what they're doing. But I don't know about revolutionizing the right way to word it. Yeah, but they're definitely they're in the forefront. I just got my two hands crossed or like put together and I'm praying. I don't like to do this a lot, but that's what I'm doing.
Alright, fair enough. Devin, do you think Overwatch League's gonna revolutionize the esports scene?
There are a lot of challenges. One thing I really admire about you two is the filter, like or lack of, that you guys have. Like it's so awesome to just like just from your position, you can say so much about this that I can't say, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
like the NDA stuff, of course.
Not just like, that, but also like if like I come out,
he doesn't want to step on any toes, you know.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want Riot to go after him when he says Overwatch League is the greatest thing to have ever been fucking introduced.
Yeah, like maybe in like a year from now, face of an Overwatch League, and people will look back and be like, "Scar, didn't you say this would suck?" And then I would say, "That's what I said back then." But now,
you can always just say,
new vision.
I was wrong, whatever. Yeah, but like for me, like there's some kind. Yeah, I would say that my nature compels me to be more pessimistic than optimistic. But I would be happy to be surprised because I think it would be good for the whole scene in general.
Yeah, like if they get like fucking Comcast and shit, I fucking hate Comcast, but if Comcast starts throwing money at League of Legends and shit, all the League of Legends teams, that's better for the scene. I get the thumbs up from that. So I want Overwatch League to succeed. I don't have faith in it though. But let's go. We'll go to the final question. This one's at Devin again. If someone wanted to get into the League of Legends business scene, what steps should they take and what degree should they have?
Okay. Depends on how you define League of Legends business, but for the purpose of their question, you think I should assume that they mean like the business side of esports, right? So not a player.
Yeah, not a player.
Yes.
Yeah, not a player. Okay. I have a YouTube video about this because the question gets asked that often on youtube.com/Devin Nash, which I don't encourage anybody actually watches, but that particular video on there is good. Let me kind of like summarize. Okay, so there are a lot of skills that are pertinent to esports that you may not think are. So immediately when you think, how do I get a job in esports, people think coaching. But there's a lot more that people are hired for, right? We have 2 full-time chefs. We have a physical therapist. We have sports psychologists. We have content creators. So I would say that you have to be good at something. You have to have a skill that is pertinent and adds value to people, and then you have to figure out how to apply that value to a team setting, right? So there's a surprisingly large amount of stuff that you could do, and I would say you shouldn't discount yourself for being able to add value to a team. The problem, I think, and this goes into like a much bigger conversation in general, is that a lot of people, especially upcoming people, like I hate to use this freaking word, millennial people, I hate that word, but like 18 to 35-year-old demo doesn't actually have any skills. So like you're looking for like an office job where you're going to be like an admin or something, or like an organizer, and like you don't really do anything. I define a skill as like something that you can do, like video editing, right? Like really good video editing for highlight clips or something like that is a very easy entry level skill that you could get into pretty much any esports team. Scar and Cutie were just talking about how needed that is. As far as techniques to actually get in front of those teams, the very best way to do it is at events, where you have people like me walking the floor and you talk to those people. I get pitched a lot personally, but what I think the best piece of advice I could give in the small amount of time that I have is that everybody pitches me, right? I get dozens of emails a day about people joining CLG, so I can't filter all of that and I can't give jobs to everybody, but I feel like all of the team owners that I talk to on like Panda Global, which is like David's company, which is a fantastic team. They're sponsored by Geico, very respectable, never gets applications like that. Nobody ever asks them anything. If you got your gateway in a smaller esports team and you were able to build up your resume and your repertoire there, you would meet everyone else in the scene and you'd be able to eventually work for a TSM or a CLG. And that's something that I think a lot of people discount. You go right for the top. Like if I wanted to learn how to swim the very best as possible, I would not go to Michael Phelps. The guy's busy as hell. I go to the 4th Olympian gold medalist who no one's ever heard of. And I'd ask that guy for lessons at $100 an hour, and I'd get 99% of the quality. That's how you have to look at it. You have to apply yourself across those smaller teams. I think that's the value I could add with the short time I have.
So that's what
Hopefully
you did with Dignitas to CLG, that kind of type of thing?
Yeah, it was exactly, right? Like when I think it's worth noting, like when I joined Dignitas, I worked for free. And I didn't expect anything from Odie, and I didn't expect anything for a long time. It was actually Odie that offered me a paid position because he's actually like a pretty cool guy, and he probably could have kept not paying me. I know there's the Dignitas mousepad meme, but as far as I knew on Dignitas always took care of its staff, and like it was only after like I think 6 to 8 months of working for free, not asking any questions, that I got offered a paid position. And I think just a lot of people, you feel like you're above working for free or you're above doing stuff for people. Like you're not. Like if you're trying to get into esports and that's your dream, you do everything you fucking can to get into that, and don't like think of yourself as like, well, why isn't like TSM looking at me? Well, because like, have you really done the stuff to prove it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with the working for free thing, but I definitely think.
Look at that, dude. CLG CEO says that he doesn't trust labor laws and that you should work for free.
I'm saying that's how I got into the scene.
Yeah, I'd say if you're dedicated enough, like you can work for free, but you don't have to work. Make sure you try to negotiate.
Okay, but real talk, anyone who asks me this question, and I'm just like, if you want to work in esports, you're gonna be underpaid and work longer hours for it.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable with that to be a part of the scene, sure, go for it. You can do something with any team doesn't mind additional hands. Like, heck, if you wanted to be my personal assistant, but you wanted to do it for free, I'd be like, come on the board, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure if you wanted to fucking chauffeur some players around wherever the fuck they want to go, I'm sure there are teams that could use a driver to fucking drive their players around places. Like, I'm pretty sure you could fucking get a job. Like, if you want to join the esports scene, you can do. It's not going to be maybe what you want to do at first, but you could probably get a job doing something. So
yeah, so like I'm not saying like you should do that. I'm just saying though, it's just gonna happen. Like, because this is a scene where it's just like, this is a scene you're only in because of passion. You're not in esports for money, at least not right now. So like, to get into this scene, yeah, you're gonna have to be passionate about it. And maybe in the future that won't be the case, where like you come in because like you're super qualified and they pay very competitive positions. Like you're competing against Google to work for CLG, right? And they're like, oh well, I think CLG gave me better.
Dude, he said that will not happen.
Because I'll tell you why. Because sports, right? If you look at like the 60 to 80 year history that sports has had, people are historically underpaid in sports because of that same thing that Skara mentioned. It's that passion. So like, there's no real indicator that esports would get to that point.
Just lie to them, Devin. You should be like, yes, dude, there won't be that, because you know why? You'll always choose CLG. Devin, you gotta. God, you gotta learn how to sell out, Devin. I set you up. I set you up. I brought you on the show just to give you that hook, and you dropped it.
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Hey, it's fine though. But that was the final question, so I want to thank Devin for coming on the show. Devin, thank you for being here. I want to give a big shout out to Discord. Wonderful place that we can have this conversation that we're having now. Shout out to Skara. Skara, thank you for being on the show again. If the people want more of Skara, where can they find more of Skara?
Find me on my two biggest platforms, I guess. I'm on twitch.tv streaming right after this, and I'm on twitter.com/Skara, which you'll see because I'm like verified or something, I guess.
And a shout out to, again, Devin Nash for joining us today. Devin, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to talk with us about whatever bullshit we talked about today.
Yeah, and honestly, this has easily ran one of our longest episodes that we've had since the season started. So thank you.
Oh, really?
Thank you for spending
we
time.
talked about a whole lot of shit.
Yeah, usually our episodes are like an hour and like 10 minutes long. I think this is running on 2.
And it's like, I think like probably like 75% of it is just like memes, right? Or like, how's it go?
I think
it was like a better episode. Did I do okay?
I mean, I feel like we had meaningful conversation. Like usually it's just like, what do you think of this? I think that, all right, great topic. Go on to the next. Let's go to the next one, boys. So I think this was a pretty good show. I won't say great. I don't want to get the people hyped up.
Usually BTR is more like the entertainment side, but I think this episode, like, like educational like stuff for people to learn and good like insightful things that you brought up. So definitely maybe a different episode than people who are carried by like I would say like maybe other stuff, but I thought it was a good one.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I'm really glad. I'm like super happy to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
But for the people that want more of Devin Nash, if they can't get enough, youtube.com/Devin Nash. But where else can they get more Devin action?
Oh God. I actually stream, so I have a channel, twitch.tv/Melixia, and I stream every Saturday and Sunday, usually Path of Exile lately. But I've been thinking about playing some more League actually. So twitch.tv/Melixia, and also my Twitter, twitter.com/Devin Nash. And yeah, it's just a shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for having me. To CLG, to all of our sponsors, and just thank you guys so much, all of our players who everybody that helps make my job happen. And thank you everyone and for having me here in the chat. Appreciate it.
And thank you again, Twitch chat, for being here because we couldn't do it without you. So shout outs to everyone there. It's going to conclude Beyond the Rift. Thanks for being here, everyone. We'll see you next week. Smell you later, fellas.